The following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
Coming up on this week's Ravens Report, we look back at last week's win over the Panthers through the lens of Ravens Wire. We break down the inside linebacker play with Brian Billick, plus a preview of Sunday's game against the Jaguars with Lamar Jackson. All that and more on this week's Ravens Report.
They are dancing in the aisles. Oh, what a scene we have at M&T.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm Evan Washburn. Well, hopefully you had a happy and healthy Thanksgiving, but save some room for Week 12 in the NFL, where the Ravens will look to make it 5 straight wins Sunday in Jacksonville. This after a grinded-out win at home last week against the Panthers, where the defense, they took center stage and were dominant with 3 takeaways in the final 4 possessions for the Panthers in that game. And for more on win number 7, here's the one and only Lamar, mic'd up.
Fourth quarter starts tied at 3. The Ravens have dominated this game statistically, but they have not been able to put points on the board.
Just keep getting positive yards. And in the passing game, quick rhythm passing, getting the ball out of Lamar's hands has been working in here in the second half.
Jackson takes the ball, rolling to the right, looking to throw, slings it complete along the sideline to the 34-yard line, and they're going to say he's inbounds, and it's DeMarcus Robinson with reception number 8.
Today, number 10 has been his guy.
Give us the Kenyon Drake running up the middle between the hash marks, across the 40, 45. And he's dragged down there after a gain of 9.5 yards. Jackson wants to throw, slings it complete to Andrews across midfield, sidesteps one tackler, tiptoes down the sideline, and is pushed out of bounds at the Carolina 45. Tied at 3. This is the first time this season the Ravens have not had a double-digit lead at some point in the game. Think about that. We're in week 11. Out of the empty backfield, throws quickly. Robinson has it at the line of scrimmage. Gets to the 25, sheds one tackler. He's to the 20, and he's stacked up at the 18-yard line. That's a couple yards shy of the first down. And no hesitation here as Justin Tucker trots on for what the Ravens hope will give them the lead. 37-yard field goal try. Justin Tucker, kick on the way. It is right down the middle and good. The Ravens have regained the lead. It's the Ravens 6, the Panthers 3. Crowd trying to come to life. It has been a bitter, windy day. Tough for fans to sit around without a whole lot to cheer for. Mayfield to throw out of the shotgun, pocket collapsing. He throws it. It's almost intercepted by Marcus Peters. Ball comes loose, but they will whistle it down. Ravens coaching staff is going to take a long look at possibly replaying this, but the ball's clearly loose, and the Ravens are going to have the ball. The officiating crew has convened without being challenged, and Jerome Bogar has officially signaled Ravens ball. Marcus Peters forces the first turnover of the day for Carolina, and the Ravens will have it now deep in Carolina territory, looking for a knockout shot. And the Ravens offense back on the field with 8:14 left to play.
Let's go, man.
What is it? Jackson from under center. Delayed handoff. Drake has room. Cuts inside the number 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Let's go! Kenyon Drake, who leads the Ravens with 3 rushing touchdowns this season, was closing in on number 4. Jackson will keep it on the read option, jukes a man, stumbles to the 1, dives in for the touchdown.
Go, man. You like that, bro? You like that?
Lamar Jackson extends the Ravens' lead with the first rushing touchdown and the first touchdown of the game.
I can tell you what, he had me fooled.
You're playing the game right there. That's exactly what we talked about. Play the game, bro. That was all you, man.
Lamar, damn, man.
Well, this defense has another one of those opportunities, Rod, where in the first half of the season they struggled in these situations with letting the opponent back in the game. This is another chance to do what they did in New Orleans and shut the door.
They play at their best when their best is required. And right now it's required the last 7 minutes and 17 seconds.
Baker Mayfield wants to throw. Pocket collapsing. Mayfield is buried back at the 31-yard line. Calais Campbell came strong up the middle and drops the Carolina quarterback. So the Panthers are going to go for it on 4th down and 7. Crowd rising to its feet. Baker Mayfield takes the snap. Blitz pressure coming. Mayfield is hit. He's sacked back at the 32-yard line. And the Ravens offense will take over with a chance to put this one completely out of reach.
I didn't want to be great. 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 Yes.
Who got the sack on the second down?
What you think?
What
you think? Yes, sir. Thank you, coverage. Good job, coverage. Good call. He did say he was going to play 60 minutes. Full 60 minutes.
Yeah, the defense has played so well today. Flying to the football, making plays, making tackles in an open space.
Ravens rush 4. Mayfield slings it near side, intercepted, picked off of the 40-yard line. Marlon Humphrey, the Ravens force another turnover.
That's the way you close out a game for the defense.
Spectacular effort on the defensive side.
Hey, that was all hook. I didn't even believe I caught it. I told 12, he's doing too much talking. I told 12. Right before that, I said, you're talking too much. You wanted that, you're talking too much. Oh. You decided to be great? Okay.
Hey, that's how you close the game, boy.
So Carolina is down to the short strokes of hope. A minute 52 left to play. The Ravens lead by 10. Baker Mayfield will throw it on 3rd down. Batted down and intercepted. Deflected ball right into the hands of Jason Pierre-Paul, and with 43 seconds left to play, the Hayes in the barn.
Good job, baby. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell. That's how you got it.
The Ravens beat Carolina 13-3 to pick up their 7th win of the season.
Yes, sir. Great game. It wasn't beautiful, but it was a win. Yes, sir. Way holds together. Yes, sir. Hey, good game, bro. Good to see you, too.
Congrats on the win.
Appreciate you, bro. You too, bro.
Bro, that was some tough-ass running, man.
That was some tough-ass kicks. In that win.
The team we just played is a determined football team, right? All right, they give us everything we got. It's a physical football team. It's a damn good defense, and they gave us our best shot. We're coming off a bye, and we found a way to win the game. That's not an easy game to win coming off a bye. You all agree? All right, that's a tough game to win coming off a bye, and you guys just found a way to get it done. You just kept grinding. You kept pounding the rock. We talked about time of possession, which is a team stat, and we won the time of possession, and we talked about winning the turnover battle was going to be the key, and you guys got it done. You got the thing done that had to get done. So, Mike McDonald, if you accept this for the defense, for that performance, that'd be awesome. You know what? Okay, and then, you know what I think we need a speech from? I need a speech from Chuck Clark right now. Purple Heart right here.
Hey, man. We fought a tough game, bro. We just came out. We did what we had to do off the bye week. But let's stack and let's go get better next week. What we at next week?
Jacksonville. I like the way you're thinking.
Let's go. Come on, bring it up. Hey, family on 3. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And stepping up and stepping into a larger role last week was wide receiver Demarcus Robinson, who totaled 128 receiving yards in the win. And to catch the rest of the Ravens' highlights in their win over the Panthers, make sure to watch the full episode of Ravens Wired. You can head to Baltimore Ravens YouTube page where you can find all of your exclusive Ravens content. Coming up next on Ravens Report, we go beyond the box score on the inside linebackers Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith and their impressive performance against the Panthers with Billick's breakdown.
Brian Billick's Breakdown is powered by Microsoft, the official tablet of the Baltimore Ravens.
Welcome back to Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Evan Washburn. The Ravens' inside linebacker duo of Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith has the potential to be one of the best in the NFL. And last week, we saw why, with Queen leading the team with 12 tackles, while Roquan right behind him in just his second game with 7 tackles. And to break down the film of this dynamic duo, here's Brian Billick with this week's Billick's Breakdown.
Baltimore's defense gave up season lows in total points 3, total yards 205, yards per play 3.8, and rushing yards only 36. On top of it, they had 3 turnovers and 4 sacks. You gotta love what Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen are doing. They're getting that relationship that good inside linebackers have. PQ had a monster day, 12 tackles, half a sack, 1 tackle for a loss, and a quarterback hit. Let's look a little bit of the film and you can see what I'm talking about in the way they're working together with the mesh. In the first play, this is a 5-man rush with JPP on the edge. He and Roquan Smith draw the offensive line to their side. You can see the center call make it going to their offensive left, and then they take JPP and they drop him out. So they bring Smith and Queen. So it still ends up still a 5-man rush. But here's the great part. Because the line gets drawn to that side, the running back gets isolated on Queen, which is a huge mismatch. The back doesn't have a chance against an athlete like Queen, and you can see what he does. He comes in, he starts the power rush. He can see the line turns away. He gets the power rush, and then he recognizes he can slip to the outside. Real well-designed pressure setting up Patrick Queen. On the next play, the Panthers they love to run counter plays, and that's pulling of the backside guard and tackle. Now, the rookie Travis Jones does a great job of slipping the OC block, and now he gets in, he disrupts the pull of the backside tackle and the guard. Queen sees the action and he slips, great recognition and reaction, slips in behind the offensive guard's block and ends up stuffing the run for no gain. This was a great read and react off the counter series by Patrick Queen. Now the next play, this is just great team defense, okay? You can see Urban powers inside the pulling offensive lineman. Okay, and while Smith slips in behind the gap. Now Bowser does a great job holding the edge on the outside, keeping his outside for arm free. This forces the back to the inside. What Queen does an outstanding job of running through the front, cleaning up where Smith, who gobbles up the one gap, he kind of fills into his hole. So this is great team defense, everybody involved. And then finally, this really excited me to watch Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen work in tandem. It's like they're tied at the hip. Both Smith and Queen see the action, then slip to the backside. The running back starts to work over. A lot of guys would overrun this, but they fall back into the gaps where it's open based on the offensive line. And watch how they basically do it together. They keep gap integrity, leaving the back once he comes back with no place to go. So well-orchestrated calls on the defensive side, excellent execution along the front 7, but Smith and Queen are really beginning to learn to work in tandem and could become one of the best tandem linebacking combinations in the league.
And with this defense now seemingly filled with talent and depth in all the key areas, there's the potential this unit could be one of those classic Baltimore bully defenses of the past, perfect for another playoff run. Coming up next on Ravens Report, it's Thanksgiving, and the Baltimore Ravens got out in the community to hand out some turkeys around the city. Welcome back to this week's edition of Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm Evan Washburn. With this being Thanksgiving week, the Ravens have a lot to be thankful for. And as always, want to give back to the Baltimore community, with players visiting 5 different schools and community centers this year to hand out turkeys and their favorite side dishes, with the goal of interacting with members of the community and also to celebrate the beginning of the holiday season. Let's take a look.
Today, in celebration of the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, we are out and about in Baltimore community. We are given 1,000 turkeys across 5 different locations, and our goal is to interact with the community and make their Thanksgiving holiday special.
Y'all just don't know how my heart is pitter-pattering.
We have 25 guys who are participating, handing out turkeys and sides. We're really lucky that our players are so committed to giving back to Baltimore, because this is completely driven through them.
Born and raised in Baltimore?
Yes.
So that means you're a big-time Ravens fan. I like it. We worked with this Y for our back-to-school program, and they were talking about they have a lot of families in need for the holidays. So today we're doing a turkey giveaway.
Let me get one more.
How you doing today?
Good. Those things are more important than football, and I think that when we decide to put those positives on the football world and go into the community, it's really good feeling. And to have our teammates come out and support and helping the community, giving back, and making sure we do our part to make the community a better place.
On behalf of Hazelwood Elementary Middle School, I just want to say thank you to the Ravens from the bottom of my heart. You're helping our families, and we truly appreciate it.
Not everybody gets the gratitude of being with their family and really just showing love and be able to have that home cooked meal. So, having Baltimore Ravens be able to come out here is really just showing the importance of, the holiday. Everything.
Y'all be safe.
Just being in the position as a younger kid, just seeing, those older guys, coming back, show love and showing Baltimore that, we love them not only on the field, but off the field as well. Being able to do that today and seeing the smiles you put on their faces is just the world.
Can we get one picture?
It means a lot to just be here, hanging out with the different families and seeing how much joy you bring to those families, and just seeing a smile that can light up a room and it can change a day. So it's amazing to be here, just able to give back, fortunate enough to be in this position, and just being out here in the community, it speaks volume, and I'm just grateful to be in the position that I'm in.
Call me Ro, but my real name is Roquan.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep. Since I've been here, even started with the guys in the locker room, the fans was amazing, so it was pretty sweet, and I'm just excited to dive even deeper into the community here and do what I can.
Thank you, baby.
Good to go? No problem. Happy Thanksgiving.
Seeing how impactful and meaningful it is for the community members. It's one thing to get a meal and something to be excited for, but a lot of these guys are their heroes, and you'll see these guys spending time and wanting to talk with everyone, wanting to know their names and learn about them. It's really cool to be a part of it and see those interactions. What we always say is, as amazing they are on the field, they are even more incredible people away from it. And today is a perfect example of that. It's so special to be a part of for us.
There we go.
And again, we hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and is also enjoying a football-filled week. That for the Ravens means a matchup with the Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday at 1. Coming up next on Ravens Report, linebacker Josh Bynes talks about what he's most thankful for. Welcome back to Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Evan Washburn. It's the season of gratitude, and 12-year vet Josh Bynes has a lot to be thankful for. And throughout his career here in Baltimore, Bynes has often said there's no place like the Ravens organization. And for more on Josh, his why, and his time as a Raven, here's Gratitude, presented by Wawa.
Josh Bynes, the linebacker, Baltimore Ravens.
Burrow to throw on second down. Blitz pressure coming. Josh Bynes drops him back at the 16-yard line. Joe Burrow did not have a chance.
Everybody came up at the last second to press outside, and Bynes ran that little inside stunt for an easy sack.
This organization is second to none. It's just how to have the families, our wives and kids, everyone involved to make it actually like we all are in this together, which we are. And you don't find places like that. When I've been other places, and I promise you, it's not like that everywhere. It is definitely not like that. And when you find a place like that, you want to stick there and hopefully be there the rest of your career. I'm grateful for my family, my wife and kids. My wife is just a rock star, and I don't know how she do it with the 3 kids and balance that and me as well. So grateful for her and also the kids. I have a 12-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old. Josh Jr. is 12, Jace Cameron is 7, and Jordy is 2. They mean the world just because they're all three like my little triplets. And my wife has just been a force as far as being a supportive wife. Just throughout my whole career, being playing 12 years, that takes a toll on family time and being away from each other. And she's been doing it like a rock star. It's been a joy. Like my oldest son has been here the whole entire time. And then my 7-year-old Jace has just been like love football. And and all that has trickled down to our 2-year-old who finally, he came to training camp this year, and that's all now when he sees Ravens, he's like, Daddy, Daddy. He doesn't even say Ravens, he just says Daddy. My oldest son is playing tackle football, second year playing tackle football. He's loving it, playing receiver and DB. And my 7-year-old Jace is playing flag football right now. His first year in flag, and he's a monster. He's out there looking like Warren Sapp. He's playing, and having fun with it as well. I'm more of a coach. I like, I'm always about a teaching, learning, and whatever, something. It's always a lesson to be learned in something, and I'm always trying to find that lesson. It's no different than me on Sundays, and when we play our games, I'm always trying to find, like, what can we learn from this game, or what can I learn to get better at, and how can, it's something maybe our team sees, something like that, and I just try to, learn that lesson from it and add it into the bank and then move on and see if it comes back up, and never know it does.
Coming up next on Ravens Report, the Super Bowl 47 team recently reunited for a mini combine with military personnel and their families. Welcome back to this week's edition of Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm Evan Washburn. Well, a few weeks ago, the Super Bowl 47 team reunited for the 10-year anniversary of their historic Super Bowl win in New Orleans. And while together, they wanted to give back to the Baltimore community. So as part of the Salute to Service Month, Ravens legends participated in a youth football and military combine with military personnel, veterans, and their families for a fun-filled day in the field house here at the Under Armour Performance Center. Let's take a look.
The most important thing you're here to do today is to have fun. So, are you ready to have some fun? That's better. Let's go to work.
This is awesome to have all these military families. I mean, the military is so special and something that we're all incredibly appreciative of.
The military can bring back their families and be with them for a little bit, see some of the enjoyment, and then just have fun with the kids. I think it's awesome,
Man, that's amazing. I'm glad, they welcome us back and then showing us this hospitality. It's amazing. But it's the Ravens way. They always do it the best. You know how it goes. All we do is win, all right? All we do is win. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win!
Being able to be out here and work with these kids and have fun with them and give them a chance to experience this is unbelievable. I mean, these kids deserve it, these families deserve it, and anything we can do in a small way to help them and support them and to say thank you is awesome.
Coming up next on Ravens Report, stay tuned for a Ravens Productions feature on the origin story of Odafe Oweh. Welcome back to this week's edition of Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Evan Washburn. In keeping with this family theme that is synonymous with Thanksgiving, let's get to know Ravens linebacker Odafe Oweh a little more deeply. In this Ravens Productions feature, Odafe shares the significance of his Nigerian heritage and how that drives him every day.
A lot of people always feel like they got the dib on me. They know who I am. They know, everything about me just based off, how I play on the field. That's fine. I like to be reserved. I like to, understand that it's beauty in just having a mystery to who you are. I grew up in Howell, New Jersey. It was a different kind of environment. I was like the only person that looked like how I look like. I was bridging my culture, my Nigerian, background with American westernized, culture, and it was just like I had to be a good dose of both.
They've had to grow up in two cultures, the American culture and then, the African, the Nigerian culture. And the Nigerian culture is very communal. Everything you do is not just for you, it's to benefit others.
It was instilled in us to always believe in our roots, believe in education, and believe in who you are. So we try to instill that in our children. I wanted to make sure that they knew where they were from and be proud of their roots, because they cannot be anything else but that.
I remember that when he was really young, we used to laugh because there were only 3 people that Odafe would let near him: his mom, his dad, and his older sister. Anybody else, and he would just take off running, or he'd start crying if you even went close to him. And it was the speed with which he would run that we knew that he was going to be an athlete. This kid was, it was amazing.
Growing up, it was just tough because Odafe was hard to pronounce. As a impressionable youngin, I kind of took offense to that. So I decided to switch to Jason, my middle name actually. Every place I went, people had a hard time pronouncing it, and I would go through months, having to correct people spelling it. I got tired of it, so I decided to go by Jason.
He grew up in a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood, and they were always picking on him here and there, and my wife did not want him to change the name, but I was of the notion that at that stage in his life, if that was going to help him overcome the challenges he's facing within his peers, then let him do it.
I always called him Odafe, even with his friends around, and his brothers would adjust to Odafe, at home, and then Jason at school.
It was hard for the people to conceptualize where I came from, the foods I brought to lunch sometimes. Not everyone understands who you are and where you come from at first, and it's just for you to, explain it to them and embrace it and be yourself.
I took it as a point of duty to establish in him a confidence that he should have in himself, that always stand up for who you are. You cannot change who you are, that's who you are, be proud of it. And I'm so grateful that he also made the call to switch back to his original first name.
So Jason, I see you got your name on there as Odafe. Is that a nickname? Is that what you go by?
That's actually my first name. Jason's my middle name.
Okay. What do you like to be called?
Because people tend to butcher Odafe. That's the full name. So I usually go by Jason.
Gotcha.
What do you want to go by though?
I want to go by my African name, my actual first name, Odafe. But
I'm gonna call you Odafe, man. Shoot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's your name. Let's go.
The Baltimore Ravens select Jason Oweh, linebacker, Penn State.
People are referring to you as Jason, so we just want some clarity on that. That's all.
I've only heard Jason the whole time. Should we now refer to you as Odafe?
On draft night, the funny thing is I wasn't even thinking about that prior to that moment. And obviously it was a flush of emotions. Everyone was jumping around me. And then, it was the time where I had to talk to, the reporters and everything. And they were just like, Jason, Jason, Jason. But obviously I was around my family. And they all called me and referred to me as Odafe. And it was just kind of like conflict.
I don't care anymore. You're gonna have to learn how to pronounce it.
We did not know he was going to do that. He never discussed that with us. A surprise for us as much as it was for other people as well. It came from nowhere and we're like, wow. I almost went in tears seeing him feel comfortable in his skin. I was very proud of him making that call.
I want to go by Odafe, that's my name. And, I don't care if it's hard to pronounce, you're going to have to learn how to pronounce it.
Say it again. Yeah, Odafe.
Odafe.
It was kind of like that switch and that momentum and that climax for me, really just having my presence felt and know that, this is who I am and you gotta learn.
Track down and sack, Odafe Oweh with the biggest play of his young NFL career.
She said, Mom, it just happened. And I said, guess what? You may have thought it just happened, but it really didn't. It's by design. You understood that you had to go back to the name that you bore. You left it for a reason and you came back to it because you understood, the time. You understood the time was now.
Stop playing with me!
I'm a Cali boy at heart. I love Cali. I've been going here all my life. Don't get me wrong, I love the East Coast. That's who I am. That's my identity and everything. But, you know, sometimes you just need a little break. A little break. I like to spend my off season in California because mainly it's just the peace and the calmness that it's for me. You know, I'm a chill dude. The sun, the beach, and my family's out here as well.
It's ready. It's cooked, just like mashed potato.
A lot of these dishes that we have in Africa, every country has their own version, right?
Every country has their own version.
But we're the best.
And we're the best.
Always.
I say Nigerians. Ghanaians, no. Senegalese, no. So I'll say Nigerians are the best ones that, you know, do the jollof thing. And then everyone is second, you know.
He is the kind of person that is very family oriented. He is only truly himself and relaxed and centered when he's around his family.
Now you gotta make 5 shots, or else you can't go inside.
You're a cheater.
Come on, bro, it's life. It's not always gonna be easy. Someone's gonna always be trying to knock your shot out. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? See? See, man? That's all I needed, bro.
In our family, cousins are like siblings. They're exactly the same. Logan is like Dafe's little brother. Logan calls him Uncle Dafe because that is our culture. Anybody who's more than 5 years older than you is an aunt or an uncle.
You don't wanna play sports?
No.
Basketball?
No.
Baseball?
No.
Soccer?
No.
Bruh, football?
No.
Do you want to be a surgeon like your mom?
No, I want to be a YouTuber.
A YouTuber?
And a TikToker.
A TikTok? Bro, you see our kids these days, man, you want to be a YouTuber.
It's just a great combination for him. Just the atmosphere of Southern California combined with family. He gets to eat grandma's food every single day.
Being close to my family is perfect, you know. That's everything I need, you know, in terms of the food I can get. I love my food, so, you know, I always have a source and outlet for that. You can eat this with a spoon, a fork, chopsticks, anything. Nah, if you do that, people gonna look at you a certain way. So you gotta use your hands. It's hand food, like this. See? Shook it in there. Get you a nice piece. And you wanna make sure you get a piece of protein with it too, so it's like a full bite. This is where all the powers come from. This is where 40s come from. This is where explosion comes from. This is where strength comes from. Some foods like this. It's just a family-oriented, you know, mindset that I have that I gotta, you know, stick with them and make sure that, you know, the people that, you know, help me get to this position are all right. I feel like a lot of people, especially these days, are like very similar. And I'm not saying that's like bad, but I feel like it's just a different type of vibe. It's always better like when you can say, you know where you come from, or you can draw something from your lineage and everything, because, you know, you're different. You gotta make your difference, you know, what sets yourself apart, because these days people will make fun of you because you're different. You gotta use being different to set you up in life. And I feel like that's what I'm trying to like do better now, you know. A lot growing up, you know, it's not always about fitting in, it's about like setting yourself apart and understanding what makes you different so you can, you know, be better in this life. I love creating things and bringing things into fruition, whether it's, you know, playing football on the field, telling myself that, you know, I want to do this, these are my goals, and then working towards it and doing that. Or it's, you know, drawing and you know, I find ways to sketch it. You know, it might not look like what I'm thinking about, but then that's when you keep on working on it, racing, and you find the way it works. And that's life, man. That's why I'm so peaceful whenever I draw, because it just brings everything back together.
Linebacker number 99, Odafe Oweh.
One of the things he's been so driven about is, you know, trying to make sure that through his platform, you know, there are many other Dafes. Like he says, I was given an opportunity here, and what better purpose would it be to create that type of opportunity for others who, through what he's able to do, be able to open doors for others.
I just feel like I play for just more than just myself. I feel like I play for, obviously, the name on the back of my jersey, Oweh. I've never had my name on my jersey in any sport. I play basketball or football, so just having that and seeing Oweh. I remember I called my mom when it happened. It was just so surreal because it's just your culture and everything your whole family has been around, and it's on a stage where people are seeing you play. I play for the whole of Nigeria, but I also play for people that missed some opportunities and had to go through some obstacles, some adversities to find themselves. I take that with great responsibility, and I love it. Every single time I come to my locker and I see Oweh, it's just like, I made it, and my family is being on my back, and I got something to play for.
And Odafe continues to be a key piece of this Ravens pass rush. And the next challenge, slowing down Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars on Sunday. Coming up next on Ravens Report, we preview that game with quarterback Lamar Jackson, who lets us know what the Ravens need to do to get their 5th straight win. Welcome back to Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Evan Washburn. Well, every week, Lamar Jackson seems to be reaching a new milestone. With his rushing touchdown against the Panthers, Jackson is now just one shy of becoming the 3rd quarterback in NFL history with 100 passing touchdowns and 25 rushing touchdowns in their first 5 years. Just keep adding them to the list. And for more on his impressive season, here's Lamar with Shelby Granat.
What's the ceiling for Lamar and the Ravens this season?
Super Bowl and MVP.
When Lamar Jackson is on the football field, he's the best football player on the field.
Lamar Jackson into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
There goes Jackson. This is why we all marvel at what Lamar Jackson can do. He's a cheat code to a video game. He's not fair.
If you're still doubting Lamar, you're just stubborn. Dude can play.
Lamar, when it comes to this game, a win is a win, no matter what it looks like. What were your takeaways from the victory over the Panthers?
It was a dog fight. Our defense, what I took from it the most is our defense played lights out. That looked like the defense we used to see. We knew they were capable of, all season long. They showed it. But we just got to clean up our little things and details and stuff like that on offense to, back those guys up.
Normally, I get to ask the defensive guys, what's it like to sit back and watch Lamar Jackson go to work? So now I can ask you, what was it like to sit there in the 4th quarter and see the defense come up with takeaway after takeaway after takeaway?
I mean, it was looking like Madden, when see Marcus Peters with the forced fumble, Marlon jumping the interception, jumping the receiver route, catching the interception, then JPP catching the interception. It was like, I might get on defense and catch me one, It was great to see, but like I said, we knew those guys were capable of that, we just need to keep it going.
A guy you seem to be getting more and more chemistry with is Isaiah Likely, and he stepped up big when Mark Andrews was hurt. What have you seen out of that rookie, and what's it like to have another dynamic tight end?
I see a guy who wants to get better each and every day. He wants to learn, and he's dialed in. He's a great athlete, and I call him Baby Mark. When he get more opportunities, I feel like the sky's the limit for him, though. And with him and Mark at the same time out there on the field, like I said, the sky's the limit, and it's gonna be unreal. It's gonna be unreal.
Well, it's week 12, and this team sits at 7-3 on top of the AFC North. How would you assess how this season is going so far?
Up, down, up, down, and it's going up the charts right now. I say it's going up the charts right now. We peaking, but we're not peaking too soon. We stepping in the right direction.
Heading back to the Sunshine State this weekend, it's not Miami, but what's it mean to you when you get to play in your home state of Florida?
It means a lot. I spent my college career away from home, and now I spend my NFL career away from home too. So when I get to go home and play, it's just go do what you've been doing, just like you was here all your life.
I know what you're trying to achieve this season, and I know you aren't one to recognize milestones very often, but against the Saints, you became the first player in NFL history to record 100 passing touchdowns and 4,000 rushing yards in any 5-year span of a career. Do you ever get to sit back and look at what you've done for the game of football in such a short amount of time?
No. I don't. I believe just because, I'm still doing it and I'm still young, like I'm still in my profession. I'm not looking to retire no time soon or anything like that. So I feel like when the time comes, I will, but right now, I'm focused on grinding and keep winning.
Okay, Lamar, we're gonna end with some this or that questions, and they're all Thanksgiving themed.
All right.
Turkey or ham?
Ham.
Mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes?
Sweet potato. Pie.
Mac and cheese or stuffing?
Oh man, I can't have both.
Okay, we'll let you have both.
Yeah, I want both. I want both. I gotta have both.
That's fine.
All right.
Pumpkin pie or apple pie?
Apple pie.
Apple? Okay.
But sweet potato pie is my favorite. So.
Okay. We'll let you have both again.
All right, cool. Cool.
Christmas music before or after Thanksgiving?
After. Let Christmas have its holiday.
I like it.
Yeah.
Football on Thanksgiving Day or on Christmas Day?
On Thanksgiving. That's what I'm used to seeing. Yeah.
Okay, Lamar, thank you so much for your time and good luck on Sunday.
Appreciate you. Always.
Lamar, as always, focusing on that next game, and that means a trip to Jacksonville this Sunday to take on the Jaguars. Here are a couple keys for this game from my perspective. Defensively, you have to prioritize stopping the run. It's the strength of this Jaguars offense. They're led by dynamic running back Travis Etienne. Offensively for the Ravens, this offensive line is going to be tested by two dynamic pass rushers, Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker. Can't allow them to wreck this game. That'll do it for this week's show. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to tune in to Ravens and Jags Sunday at 1. And don't forget, you can vote your favorite Ravens to the Pro Bowl every day until December 15th by visiting BaltimoreRavens.com/Pro Bowl. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you right back here next week for another edition of Ravens Report.